It is only and only through the help of Allah. Only and only through the help of Allah. None of you, even if you wanted, if Allah didn't allow you to be here today, you would not be here. And that yaqeen and the faith, I think over this whole week I have experienced it, and it became more stronger in my heart. Last week, Monday at 3 a.m. in the morning, I had to take my mother to the hospital. Everything was going well, but suddenly so much pain and she couldn't bear it anymore. So I took my mother to the hospital, and we were there for 3 days. For 3 days. And wallahi, I can tell you that only those 3 days when I was there, I appreciated every single second. I said, Ya Allah, every day we are enjoying His blessings, but we don't make shukr, we don't thank Allah. Right now you're here, you have a good health, you're breathing nice, you have no pain in your body. This is a blessing from Allah. This is a blessing from Allah. Say Alhamdulillah. This is a blessing from Allah. It could be a young person also. But one pain, sometimes you have no peace. No peace. Allah has given you the opportunity that not only pray our salat with jamaat, but after that we have sat together to speak about Allah and His Rasul. To speak about Allah and His Rasul. About these blessed gatherings we hear over and over. It's so blessed that many a time a person comes for a different purpose, maybe to pray and leave. But even the person nearby, if he's sitting there doing something else, even Allah forgives his sins also. Imagine us. And just like how we see the stars shining in the sky, then to Allah and the angels, we are like the stars, shining. Because we are speaking about Allah and His Rasul. So it is extremely important that whatever has been said, we take something with us home, inshaAllah. It is very important that everything in this world we are living, and we have all of our education. We know so much. But if there is something that we are lacking in, is our deen. We don't know much. So I was mentioning to you about the hospital. Why I'm saying this to you? To take some lesson. That those 3 days I felt like maybe 3 years. And every second when I look around me, I see people suffering. I see people suffering. And believe me, every single second in that hospital was really difficult. Many a time you see a lot of people come for dua. Sheikh, please make dua for me, so and so is sick. We make dua. But we don't know what that person is going through. We don't know what that person is going through. Today in my Jummah Salat at JMC, I mentioned that I always hear from my father, and it is true. 3 places in the world that softens your heart. 3. Number 1 is the house of Allah, the masajid. When you come to the house of Allah, it doesn't matter small masjid, big masjid, you go to the haram, it doesn't matter where you go, but definitely your heart will not be the same. Your heart will not be the same. You will feel closer to Allah, your heart will be soft. The desire for sins will decrease. You will see that when people come to the masjid, those same people that when they're outside, they're cursing and bad words and thinking, you know what not. But when they come to the masjid, completely different. Amongst our Desi culture, if you notice, if we want someone to take qasam, then I don't believe you, take qasam. So what do? We say, come to the masjid and take qasam, that you didn't do it. We as Muslim, we believe that you Muslim, you will not speak lie in the masjid. Even though lying is lying. So if you're taking qasam outside in the masjid, it's the same thing. But I'm saying to show that we believe that in the masjid, a person cannot lie. And then, another example, if we want someone to take qasam, we say, okay, I don't believe you, hold the Quran and say. Hold the Quran and take qasam. You understand? So, the first place is the house of Allah. When you come to the house of Allah, you will feel different. You would want to do good deeds. For example, if you go for Umrah or Hajj, you could be the person who never goes to masjid. You are maybe, part-time musallis. You come for Eid namaz, you come for Jummah namaz. But when you go for Umrah, why I say part-time musallis, there's a reason. You will see that they come in last when the khutbah is about to end. They come in when there is 1 minute left. And then after salam, it's like somebody chasing them. The first one out. It's true. When you come to the house of Allah, we should link ourselves. Try to be early and leave late. Try to be early and leave late. So, when a person goes to Baytullah, you will see that thousands and millions of people are doing the same action. When the muazzin gives adhan, you could be the person who never goes to masjid. But when you are in the haram, you are in your hotel, then you will hear the adhan, definitely you go to masjid. The place makes you change. It has a great effect. That is why I believe that once or twice a month having this gathering is really important for us to understand and to learn something about deen, and so that just like how you charge your phone, if you use the whole day, then at night you see your phone is dead. It's dying. So you charge it overnight, and then morning time is back to 100%. So we believe that this majlis, inshallah, this gathering, the whole week and the second week, we are dropping, because all the dunya and all the material things that we see, all the wealth and taka and all, everything is just getting as our battery is draining. We say, I don't have to die, we just earn money. So when you come here, we charge our battery again. So that we can last for 2 more weeks. Inshallah, we can last for 2 more weeks. And then again, you are using. Inshallah, we believe that after 2 weeks, this majlis will again take you back. So when you go to the haram, definitely you will go for masjid. Definitely if you go to the haram and you're nearby in Makkah, when the muazzin gives adhan, you will definitely go. Yes or no?
Yeah.
If you don't go for namaz, that means something is wrong with you. Meaning something is wrong. How can you go there and you don't go for namaz? And the second place is when you go to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, you see the same person who is so brave. He has a very hard heart. But when he goes to the hospital for himself or for somebody else, he's asking for dua. He's always crying, very sad. Because why? That's not the place where you're so happy. So hospital will make you soft. And the last place is the cemetery, is the graveyard. When last time you saw someone going to the graveyard and they're laughing? Or they're joking? That's not the place. Whether you go for your family member or for somebody else, but definitely you will feel soft. Yes or no? That's the place where your heart will become soft. And remember, when a person's heart is soft, then he is going through pain. For example, if someone that you know, your family member, maybe someone passed away in the family, it is our responsibility as Muslim, as believers, we should go visit him. We should go visit him and see what he needs. Normally we give food or we take care of for 3 days. Because after 3 days, we should start forgetting it. That is the teaching of Islam. Why? There is wisdom. Imagine in your family, your uncle passed away and you loved him. So now, right when your uncle passed away and you received the news, you are very sad. Now imagine that sadness, if Allah were to keep this till you live, you will never be happy in your life. So this is a wisdom that after a few days, when it passes, then you happen to forget about it. That's a wisdom. Amongst our Bengali culture, what happens? Our parents sometimes, they love us. Our Desi mothers and fathers, they love us. So sometimes they make wasiyat. They say, when I die, will you cry for me? When your mother die, will you cry for me? It's like they want us to cry. They say, yeah, after 1 week you will forget me. You will forget me. Meaning it shows that they want us to cry continuously till we live. Yes, we should cry for our mother and the father when we raise our hand. But the pain of it, it will leave. I'm sure many of you that's sitting here, you lost your parents maybe. But that pain, when you first heard they passed away, is that there now? This is the wisdom. So this is the three places when a person's heart becomes soft. And the last thing I will say on this is that whenever you know that someone is going through difficulties, he is sick, go to him, help him, support him, ask him to make dua for you. Ask him to make dua for you, InshaAllah. Now, our gathering here, InshaAllah, today we would like to speak about this Mi'raj that we all hear about. Most of us, we know about it. It is very famous. We are right now in the month of Rajab. We will be going to Sha'ban and then Ramadan. And we should always recite the dua, Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban wa ballighna Ramadan. Always, anytime you get a chance, recite it. Now, before we begin, I would like to mention one beautiful dua, or you can say one wazifa that we recite after Maghrib Salah. It is very beautiful that we all want security. We want to be safe. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whosoever after the Maghrib Salah and after the Fajr Salah recites A'udhu Billahi Sami'il Alim Minash Shaitanir Rajim 3 times, then recites the last 3 ayats, the last 3 verses of Surah Al-Hashr, then from that Salat, from Maghrib till Fajr, 70,000 angels Allah sends for you to be at your guard. Not only that, 70,000 angels, not only that, they make dua for your maghfirah. That Ya Allah forgive this person. Ya Allah, imagine 70,000 angels making dua for you. But it's so easy. All we have to say, A'udhu Billahi Sami'il Alim Minash Shaitanir Rajim. A'udhu Billahi Sami'il Alim Minash Shaitanir Rajim 3 times. Huwallahu alladhi la ilaha illahu Alimul ghaybi wash shahada Huwa ar-Rahmanur Rahim. Huwallahu alladhi la ilaha illahu Al-Malikul Quddusul Salamul Mu'minul Muhayminul Azizul جبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. Do you have the faith? Do you have the yaqeen that Allah sent 70,000 now? This is the reality. This is a reality that Allah already sent 70,000 angels for every single one of us. Every single one of us, 70,000 angels from now, they will be making dua for you and at your guard till Fajr. SubhanAllah. After Fajr, recite it till again Maghrib. And have the conviction, have the yaqeen that Allah sends. So InshaAllah, try your best from today, InshaAllah, never to miss. Recite this after Maghrib and after Fajr. After Maghrib and this is the wadif of today, InshaAllah. Till the day you live, try to recite this. InshaAllah, the reward is something that you cannot imagine. But it takes you maybe 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds. Build the yaqeen and InshaAllah recite it, you will get the benefit. Now, in this, our time, we know our Isha Salat is coming very near. It's very important that we understand, if I ask even the smallest child, if I ask you which month is it now, you will tell me it's what? It's April. It's what? April. It's April. If I ask you which year, you will know it. But it's very sad that forget youngsters, even if you ask me many a time, we don't know the Islamic month, we don't know which year, nothing. But as Muslimin, it is really important for us that we know which month, which year, and which date also. Really important. Normally, amongst Muslimin, amongst us, the only month that we know is Ramadan. The only month that we know is Ramadan. Is Ramadan. Why? Because we fast, we have iftari, we have sahri. It's very famous. It's very famous. So that's why we know. But after that, we don't know anything else. So it's extremely important that we understand our Islamic calendar, okay, and we try to remember the day. So there are many, the scholars have differences. Some say that this Mi'raj, this Isra, this Laylatul Mi'raj, you can say Isra wal Mi'raj, that there are few differences which day, but today I will not get into that. What lessons we can take? I mentioned in Jummah also that every time Allah mentions something in the Quran, it is for us to take lesson. It is not just for entertainment. So extremely important that we understand about this Mi'raj. Many people, what happens, that we have Shab Barat, we have Laylatul Qadr, we have these special nights. So amongst our Desi culture, because we saw our forefathers doing it, we have no idea what these about. So we do nothing except having good food. We do nothing except having good food. Like famous, since I was a small boy, I see that in Bangladesh, in Shab Barat, we have shada roti and gufto. Yes or no? Shada roti and gufto. Shada roti bole, chala roti bole ektai. But it's really famous. And to be honest, people do nothing except eat. Because it became famous. So we think that Shab Barat means shada roti and gufto. We have more coming up. Halwa. So let's continue before more comes up. So let's not make our religion, Islam, just a cultural thing. That the month of Ramadan comes, what happens? We fast the whole day and we wait for iftari. And we have a big iftari and then that's it. Our fasting is just completely useless. Let's follow and let's listen to what Rasulullah has to say. Now, this happened after the year when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to go through so much difficulties. It's called Aamul Huzn, the year of sorrow and pain. What happened? The year before this happened, the Mi'raj took place in the 11th Hijri. Which year? 11th Hijri. So the year before, Rasulullah, he lost his uncle. His beloved uncle who? He lost his beloved uncle. Not only that, he lost his wife Khadija also. Radiallahu anha. And not only that, previously Rasulullah had to go so much, he had to go through so much, such as we all know the famous incident of Taif. What Rasulullah had to go through. Today, when we see our president and we say, Ya Allah, this is musibat and this is some punishment from Allah, this is azab. But ask yourself, are we going through anything? No. Your job and your house and your car and everything is still the same. But we still feel like we are dying. We feel like we're dying. But believe me, Rasulullah being the closest to Allah, if I mention to you today what Rasulullah had to go through, you will definitely cry. You will definitely cry. You tell me, did Rasulullah have to go through so much?
Yeah.
He didn't have to go through so much. But he left the example for all of us. That you can be in the worst of situation. You can be in the worst of conditions. Think of Rasulullah. And you will see that it's not worse than that. It's not worse than that. But what was his reaction? What was the reaction? Did Rasulullah give up his mission? He didn't. All those difficulties mostly were given to him so that he can give up his Islam. If Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never said that he was a Nabi of Allah, and he never mentioned that he was given the Quran, and he never if he says that there is no such thing as Islam, everything will be the same. We all know that before he claimed that he was a prophet, he was known as the most trustworthy person in the whole Makkah. If someone had some fights, some arguments, they would say that if Muhammad, if he decides, whatever he said, we will just accept it. There are wars between two families, two tribes. They say, no, nothing. Whatever he says, we'll accept. But now that same person, the moment he said, I am a Nabi of Allah, everybody turned away. Those same people that said that he is the most truthful, they say he's a liar now. Aliyahdu billah. So, if we study what Rasulullah had to go through, this is enough for us. We are going through nothing. We are going through nothing. I would like to mention one incident, and I don't know if you heard before. One pious person, when he was making tawaf around the Kaaba, he was making tawaf around the Kaaba. So what happened was that he met, or he saw one lady, that after the tawaf, we normally make a dua. So the only thing that she said, that, oh Allah, I am still happy with everything that happened to me. I am happy with your decision. Alhamdulillah. So this pious person was really shocked that, how come that she made no other dua? Normally when we go for Umrah or Hajj, we have a lot of duas. If you're young, the first thing we say, oh Allah, give me a nice wife. If you're young, you will see that you go to Sheikh, please make dua for me that I get a very beautiful wife. And then etc. If you are a business person, you go and ask for business. But this lady was really strange that the only thing she asked, Ya Allah, I am happy with everything that happened to me. I am happy with your decision. So this person, he tried to contact her that, what is it that's the only dua that you made? It is so interesting, listen to it. This lady said that I lost my husband. I lost my husband. As a wife losing husband, she lost the head of the family. She lost the head of the family. Especially back then, years back. Nowadays, if you go to even Bangladesh Muslim countries, we want equal rights. We want equal right. Now, forget now. Now the ladies are way advanced. They have better jobs than us. Sometimes when you're driving and you see a BMW, and you're speeding, you see it's a lady. Yallah. Lady of this time nowadays. But if you look 20 and 30 years back, ladies used to be home. So even those change. So a lady, a wife of the family, if she loses her husband, she lost the head of the family. Not only that, what happened? She had 2 children. 2 sons. What happened was that, no, she had 3 sons. She had 3 sons. And one was baby. So when she was cooking in the kitchen, then she had the baby in her lap. And she heard one of the sons screaming. So she left the child next to the stove and she ran. When she ran, she saw that the older brother was sacrificing the younger brother. And he passed away. And why he was sacrificing? If I tell you, the story is long. The story is long. What funny things nowadays we see and we hear. Because I see some youngsters, my advice to you, that in today's time, we get caught up in media and we watch movies and we watch whatnot. All these things are destroying our life. Remember that. And do you know who started this TV and all these that we see? The Jews. The Jews started. And the interesting point is, they do not allow these things at their own house. If you go to a Jew house, you will never find a TV. They don't allow it at home. They don't let their children play games, the video games. They play physical games. Because these things only harm you, not help you. So they're destroying other people's children, but not theirs. Not theirs. So she saw that one of her child died. Now, when the mother came to see the son is dead. So now that the big son who had killed the smaller one, he ran behind the trees, behind some grass, some trees, and then she hears again screaming from him. When she ran, she saw that he was bitten by a snake. So both sons passed away. When she runs back in the kitchen again, she sees the small baby. He got burned. He fell in the fire. Imagine that one lady losing all the family members. Is this something easy? It's not something easy. When you hear it, also it doesn't affect. But if Allah never make it happen to us, just losing one family member, it is something difficult. So that lady, the amount of sabr she had, she was still happy with the decision of Allah. Can we have the sabr? We can't. So again, going back to the sabr that Rasulullah went through, the difficulties Rasulullah went through. So this Mi'raj, visiting Allah, and Allah called him, Allah wanted to see him, and Allah wanted to speak to him, that was like a tasalli. That Allah, imagine Allah calling you and He wants to speak to you. So after all those difficulties, now Allah called him to relieve all his pains. So this happened after when he lost his uncle and his wife, his beloved wife, and all this Taif and whatnot happened. That he was stoned. How much? His shoes were full of blood. They told the youngsters that every time he goes down, pick him up again and then drag him. Imagine the Rasul of Allah. He never had to go through. But he went through all this for me and you. For who? For me and you. If nowadays we go out on the street wearing Muslim dress, and if someone just says something back to us, we say 10 things more. We say 10 things more. But never, we should remember one time that was not the teaching of my Rasul. That was not the teaching of my Rasul. What did my Rasul teach me? He taught me something else. Many a time through our akhlaq, so many people accept Islam. So many. You don't have to literally give someone the message of Islam. You working at your job, people can change by seeing you. They look at you that you are a Muslim, but we hear in media that the Muslims are terrorists and this and that, but you are so different. You're so different. How many incidents we heard that because they see Muslim every day, they see, these people are different. They are not the same people. And they became Muslim. They became Muslim. So, Allah wanted to see Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So what happened? Very brief. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was sleeping in his cousin's house, Hani. And from there, Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came and took Rasulullah from the house and took him to the Kaaba, to the Haram, to the Kaaba. And when he took him there, he split open his chest and he took out his heart and he washed it. And this happened before as well when Rasulullah was small. He took it and he washed it. And then thereafter, Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam took Rasulullah from Baytullah, from the Kaaba, and he took him to Masjid Aqsa, that we know. سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى. Took him there. Now, Allah sent Jibreel as a security guard, that bring my Habib, bring my beloved. How special do you feel then? Imagine how close is Rasulullah. You will never hear that about any other Nabi except Rasulullah. Except, that shows how close was Rasulullah. How close he was. The other incident that we hear, that Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was about to be killed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran in Surah Nisa, verse 156 and 157, in the 6th juz, that وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. At the end he says, بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. That the Christian people, they think that Isa alayhi salam was killed, whereas we as Muslim, we believe that he was not killed. Because Allah says, بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. Allah has took him to the heavens. And our belief is, he is still there till now. And he will be sent again before Qiyamah. This is our belief. So if Allah wants to preserve someone, can he? Yes. But this Mi'raj was something else. This was something else. This was not taking someone from the earth to the second heaven. This was from the earth to Allah directly. How far that even Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, he was the closest amongst all the angels. There was a limit even for him, that even if he takes one step after that, after the seventh heaven, there was a place. He says that if I take one step forward, I will burn into ashes. But our Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he went to Allah. He spoke to Allah. He spoke to Allah. So, very briefly, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam went to Masjid Aqsa, then he led the salat for all the Anbiya. Imagine. Our Rasulullah is the leader. Our Rasulullah is the leader. That is why you hear over and over. We're so fortunate. We're so fortunate that we are the weakest of all the people. We done the least. What a sale. We done the least, but we go first. Before all of us that are going to Jannah, before we go to Jannah, none of the other people of other prophets, they came into Jannah. Until Rasulullah opens the door, nobody can enter. Until Rasulullah opens the door, nobody can enter. And until we enter, no other people can enter. This is only for the ummati of who? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We do the least, but we get the most. Man ja'a bil hasanati falahu ashru amthaliha. Very soon we'll get to that. So he led the salat for all the Anbiya, or most of the Anbiya, and then he was taken to the first heaven. He was taken to the first heaven. And there he met who? There he met Adam alayhi salatu wassalam. Who's that? The first human, the first Nabi, the first Prophet. Yes. He met him. And then when he saw that Jibreel came and he saw that, first he asked, who is this? He said, this is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said that, did Allah call him? He said, yes, Allah called him. When he heard Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, please proceed. He asked him for dua. So like this, first heaven he met Adam alayhi salatu wassalam, and then second heaven he met Isa alayhi salatu wassalam. We mentioned in the beginning that Isa alayhi salatu wassalam is in the second heaven, and he's there until now, and he will come down. He will still come down. When he comes down, he will not be a prophet. He will be like you and I. He has to follow who? The Shariat of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And few more prophets made the same dua, that, oh Allah, I don't want to be a prophet. Make me from amongst the ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Because they have understood. But Isa alayhi salam, his dua was accepted. So he will be coming before Qiyamah. When he went to second heaven, he met Isa alayhi salatu wassalam and Yahya alayhi salam. And then, like this, he went to third, he met Yusuf alayhi salam. He met who? We hear over and over there, we have a surah in the Quran by the name of Yusuf. Who was Yusuf? Let me just give you just a little small idea. Who was Yusuf? Allah gave him half of the beauty of this world. Can you imagine? Nowadays we see a beautiful car and we think that this is everything that we have. So beautiful. We see a very handsome person, this is everything. But imagine Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. You know how beautiful he was? He was so beautiful that when they wanted to prove it, they brought all the women of that town and they gave them apples. They gave them apples to cut. So they made them stand in line and they say, cut the apples. But meanwhile, they made Yusuf alayhi salam come out the house and walk by. All of them looking, and they all start cutting their fingers. They forgot about cutting the apple. That's how beautiful he was. But do you know what? Our Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was even more beautiful. Even more beautiful. So then when he went to the fourth heaven, then he met Idris alayhi salatu wasalam. When he went to fifth heaven, he met Harun alayhi salatu wasalam. When he went to sixth heaven, he met Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. He met who? And that was in the sixth heaven. Who's there? Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And there's one hadith that, just keep in mind, when Rasulullah saw Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he saw him crying. He saw him crying. So when he asked, why are you crying? Oh Musa, why are you crying? He said that you will have much more followers than me. That's why I'm crying. Every Nabi will take pride with their people. And who will have the most people? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then the last heaven is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. Who's that? Khalilullah. Who? Khalilullah. And the sacrifices and the tests and the exam and difficulties that he had to go through, we know in Qurbani time. So no time to go into that. So he is in a place where in the seventh heaven there is a place called Al-Baytul Ma'mur. Al-Baytul. Just like how in the earth we have the Ka'batullah, there is called Al-Baytul Ma'mur something. Directly on top of the Kaaba is something called Baytul. Al-Baytul Ma'mur, all the way up to the seventh. And every single day, 70,000 angels make tawaf around it. 70,000 angels make tawaf around it, and those 70,000 angels, they never get a second chance. Imagine how many angels there are. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala met Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after speaking, Allah gave Rasulullah a gift. Allah gave Rasulullah a hadiyah. Gave what? We all love hadiyahs, right? We love hadiyahs, especially the children. When Eid come, we need our Eid money. We need our Eid money. And nowadays, no more children. Even older people will go to the ones older. We say we need our Eid money. But everybody loves hadiyah. Everyone loves hadiyah. Gift. And this is the beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah. Give hadiyah and you will have love. You will have love. So when Allah met His beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, He gave Rasulullah what? A gift and hadiyah. And what was that? That was salat. That was salat that in today's time we leave it the most. We leave it the most. If you take account in the world, not even 10% of the Muslimin pray salat. Is something good or bad?
Yeah.
Not even 10%. Whereas at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even a person who could not get up from his bed, who can barely walk, he used to tell that, please drag me, please take me. He used to get help and support from their shoulder, and he used to go to the masjid. You can never. Rasulullah says that if there wasn't children and women in the house, I will burn those houses, those men that don't go to the masjid. You have good health, but you have no valid reason, but the adhan is given, it's salat time, but you don't go to the house of Allah to pray. It is something really major. Nowadays what happens, we see only for Jummah namaz, the masjid is full. Eid namaz, ya Allah. Where those people come from, Allah knows. I think those people, they live in Subway. How many people come for namaz? For Eid namaz and for Jummah namaz. Imagine if those people came for every namaz. How beautiful would it look? So this salat, when Allah gave Rasulullah this gift of salat, that was not 5. It wasn't 5. It was 50 salat. It was how many? 50 salat. Imagine if it didn't decrease, that means all day we'll be praying salat. So when Rasulullah got this gift, when he was coming down, he met Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Who did he meet? And he says, so, you know what happened? So Rasulullah says, I got a gift, I got a hadiyah from Allah. He said, oh, mashallah, what did you get? He said, I got salat. How many? 50. He said, go back. He said, go back. Why go back? Your people will not do 50. Please go back. They will not do 50. I have suffered enough with my people. Bani Israel, we all know what they did. No time to go into. I know, so please go back and ask Allah to decrease it. And to make it short, he kept on going back and forth. Every time Allah will decrease, he will come back. Again, Musa said, how much now? This many? Please go back. And like this, it came down to 5 salat. How many?
5.
When he came down after 5, Musa said, please go back again. He said, no, now I can't go back. Now I can't go back. Already 5, now I feel shy now. But in this time, do we pray 5 time namaz? Today now we are here, mashallah. But compared to Jummah namaz, not even half, not even quarter. And even us, may Allah forgive us. To be honest, may Allah forgive us. Even us now, we will pray Isha namaz, InshaAllah. But for Fajr namaz, we are underwear. We are underwear. Our blankets. You know, we go to gym and we pump, right, young people? We go and we pump and we get a good body and whatnot. Scholars say, the person at the time of Fajr, if you can move your blanket, if you can move your blanket, you are a bodybuilder. You are a bodybuilder. It's not easy. It's not easy. You know why it's not easy? Because at Fajr time, you will see that even if you put the alarm 5 minutes, 10 minutes before namaz, you will see that for some reason, those 5 minutes of sleep, it feels better than the whole night. Do you know the reason why? It's because, you know, Hazrat Shaitan is giving you Hazrat Shaitan is giving you massage. He is massaging you. He said, don't worry, sleep and sleep and sleep. Sometimes you want to put on snooze, right? You want to say, okay, maybe up to 5 minutes. Next time you wake up, you see it's 10 o'clock. Who did that? Shaitan did that. So if you see that your sleep is feeling better at the time of Fajr, move your blanket and get up. And in today's time, to be honest, if you go to our homes, we have hot water. We have heating system. At winter time, we feel actually hot. In summertime, we feel cold. Why? Because we have extreme, we have AC, and we have heater. We have hot water. In South Africa, when I studied 5 years, believe me, we didn't have hot water. The temperature outside and the temperature inside the room was the same. More or less same. Can you imagine? So we used to put like 3 blankets on top to feel warm. And at Fajr time, when they come and knock the door, then you have to get up for Fajr. We know that when you move the blanket, it's extremely cold. And worse than that, that to go make wudu with ice cold water. No warm water. And worse than that, if you have to take shower. You know what I mean? If you have to shower, that's worse. With cold water. But in today's time, Allah has blessed us with everything. Allah has blessed us with everything. We're not appreciating. We're not appreciating. All of us, we have hot water at home, yes or no? Yes. We have hot water. We have heating system. But Fajr time, we're sleeping. Fajr time, we're sleeping. But if you have to go to work or you have to go to school at 7, we never miss it. We are on time. Because if you go late to work, if you go to 8 o'clock, if you go 8 o'clock instead of 7, your boss will fire you. And if you go to school late, then they will expel you or you will get in trouble. But what about boss? What about the big boss? Allah. If you don't come when the muaddin calls the adhan, the muaddin is just a mean. Who is calling us? Allah. Allah. Ask yourself, that do I need to answer to the call of Allah? It is extremely important that I even got a complaint recently that our masjid for normal namaz is quite empty. We need to make an effort that is for our own self. And I always say that today's Isha namaz that we will pray, this Isha namaz will never ever come back to your life again. And if a person prays nafil namaz, all his life, all those nafil namaz can never ever be equal to one farz namaz. That's the level of the farz namaz. So we should make an effort that from now, please don't miss your namaz. It is extremely important that we cannot miss our namaz. We cannot miss our namaz. There is so much to be said. But the main lesson here, the gift of Allah is salat. The gift of Allah is salat. On the day of judgment, when we face Allah, the first question that Allah will ask us is about our namaz. About our namaz. About our namaz. If your namaz is not there, then things will not go right. So namaz is extremely important. It is very important. I would like to bring to your attention before time finishes that few things that I mention every year before the blessed month of Ramadan comes. I don't know if I will see you again, but in Ramadan what happens? We fast. We fast. Fasting is one for us or two for us? One for us. Fajr namaz is one for us or two for us? Zohar namaz? 4. So that means in the whole day, how many farz we have?
17.
The farz namaz. How many? 5. But in the month of Ramadan, we fast because if you don't fast, then your father will chase you. Your father will chase you. Or you get shouting. Or because if you don't fast and another person sees you not fasting, he'll say, oh, you are a Muslim but you're not fasting? So many times we only fast because of that. But we have no concern for our namaz. Isn't that true? We keep roza. We fast in the month of Ramadan, but we don't pray any namaz. One namaz we pray or two namaz we pray. Which namaz is that? Maghrib and Isha. Maghrib and let me tell you the reason why Maghrib. Maghrib because free iftaring. Because free iftaring. If you go to every masjid, Jugu, Allahu Akbar. So many items. So many items. So if you come for Maghrib, you get free food. And you know our Bengali people, Ya Allah, anything free, mashallah, with the first one. Anything free with the first one. But no, we should come to the masjid. Don't say that Sheikh said don't come. Come. And for Isha Salat, why we come? For Tarawih. It is so sad that the Masjid Ali Tarawih for the last 10 years, I've seen people, they come after the Isha Namaz. Imagine. The Isha Namaz is Farz or Sunnah? Which one is stronger and more important? Your Tarawih or your Isha? I have seen people, they don't come for Isha Namaz, they come for Tarawih. Ya Allah, where are we? Where are we? What they say? They say, hurry up, we have to catch Tarawih, not Isha. It's a cultural thing. It's a what? It's a cultural thing that we have to pay Tarawih. We don't need Tarawih. We have to pay Tarawih. We should pay Tarawih. But again, we are not putting the things in order. We need to understand Deen. We need to understand Deen. It's very, very important that the month of Ramadan is coming. Try that. I am 25 years old. That means 25 Ramadan passed in my life. If you are 40 years old, 40 Ramadan passed in your life. This Ramadan is coming. My humble request to you that try your best before Ramadan comes. Make intention that this Ramadan I will not miss one namaz. Say InshaAllah. InshaAllah. Raise your hand. Who says that InshaAllah I will try my best? This Ramadan I will not miss even one namaz. InshaAllah. InshaAllah. Even if you don't reach the month of Ramadan, Allah will definitely bless you. Amen. You know, one of the special gift of this ummah is that when we intend to do something, for example, you say that today I will pray my Isha namaz with Jamaat, but may Allah forbid something happened, some accident, and you left this world, but you already got the reward of Isha. This only for this ummah. When we intend to do a good deed, you want to help so and so. So when you intend in your heart, Allah already gave you the reward. Allah already gave you the reward. When you do it, Allah gives you 10 times more. Allah gives you 10 times more. And look at that. Allah is so kind. When we intend to do something bad, we say that tomorrow is Saturday night, I'm going to watch one movie. I'm going to watch one movie. Now, the angel wants to write the sin, but the right side angel, he holds it. He says, don't write. Only when you watch the movie, then you get the sin. If you don't, just by intending, Allah doesn't write the sin for you. No, subhanallah? Subhanallah. If you intend for a sin, if Allah wants, Allah can give you the sin, but He doesn't give you the sin. Only when you do, Allah gives you. If you do one sin, Allah gives you one. If you do one guna, Allah gives you only one. But if you do one good deed, Allah gives you how many? 10. Only for who? Only for us. So, do we miss it or we do it? My humble request to you, the month of Ramadan is coming. Let us change ourselves. And not, if you are the head of the family, make sure everyone in the family will pray our namaz. Make sure everyone in the family, if you are the father in the family, then if you have your wife and children that don't pray, then you will have to answer to Allah that why they don't pray. Because you are the head of the family, so Allah will definitely ask you. Of course them, but you will be asked also. Because you control the family. So whichever way this is the last thing I will finish, inshallah. Last week when I was at the hospital, then my mother was being pushed. They pushed the bed to take one room to a different room. So one of the nurse, he was a man, and his over here, the card they have, it says Abdul Hakim. It says Abdul Hakim. So I gave him salam. I said, Assalamu alaikum. He said, Walaikum salam. But he said, I know you think I'm Muslim, but I'm not Muslim. But I said, how come you're not Muslim? You have Abdul Hakim. Beautiful name. He said, my father was Muslim. My father was Muslim. But my mother is not Muslim. And my father passed away when I was a small boy. And my mother was the one that took care of me. So she taught me something else. She's Christian. So I kept the name Abdul Hakim. And wallahi, I feel like crying. This person has the name Abdul Hakim, but he's not a Muslim. I made dua to Allah. I invited him that come to the masjid. We will talk, inshallah. We have, we eat together. The month of Ramadan is coming. Come, inshallah. We'll spend some time. He also understands. He says that the religion Islam, it makes more sense, but because who's controlled the family? The mother. The person who controls the family, it has a great effect. So if this is, again, I said last thing already, but this is the last thing. Because my time of getting married is also coming, and I see some youngsters here too. What? When you are, no, in the back. When you want to get married, it's really important. Why I'm telling you? Because I'm also young. Many people will only look at one thing. But the hadith says 5 things. How many? 5 things. We only look at, oh, beautiful, that's it, this is the one. This is the one. This is for me. But through experience, not my experience, but through experience that we hear, they say that it doesn't last long. Look at a good Muslimah. Does she have deen in her life? You know why? Because she will build up your children. And we all want our children to be deendar, to be good Muslim. So if the mother is not a good Muslim and she doesn't have no deen, your children will not be. Nowadays, what happens, the school that I teach, most of the mother and the father, they both work. So the children is being brought up, by whom? Daycare. And they're not even Muslim. So how your children will learn deen? The mother is the one that teaches the children the deen. It is extremely important that we keep our dunya, our earning money, to a limit. And we give time to our family. Many of us, we don't give time. Few of you watch your children. There is something extreme, is something really good. You brought your son to the masjid today. Tomorrow when you leave this world, they will definitely come to the masjid and they will bring their family. So you left this world, but you kept the chain. You kept the chain. They will come to the masjid, they will keep the masjid alive. If you wanted, today is Friday night. Youngsters, we go to a restaurant, we enjoy, friends get together, but you came here, you learned something, you spend time in the masjid. If you wanted, you could be somewhere else. So thank Allah, and when you thank Allah, inshallah, Allah will definitely give you opportunity to come next time, inshallah. In 1 or 2 minutes, does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask, inshallah, about anything, Ramadan, or anything they would like to? One more thing I want to mention, I mentioned last year also. In Ramadan, we like to pray a lot of nafil namaz. In Ramadan, we like to pray a lot of nafil namaz, which is really good. We pray 10 rakat and 20 rakat in the morning, all nafil namaz. But if you have any farz namaz qada, that you missed in your life after you became mature, then it is best for you to make up your qada namaz instead of praying nafil namaz. What happens that we don't pray our qada namaz 1 or 2 years of qada namaz, but we just pray nafil and nafil and nafil. But you have to make up for it. You have to make up for it. Allah will not forgive you. You have to make up for it. And another saying is that if you have hurt someone's feelings, ask him to forgive. Many a time Allah doesn't forgive a person who breaks relationship. That is really important. So if you have any qada namaz, and it is really common, Youngsters, 20 years old, we missed the first 7 years when we became mature from 12, 13. Those 7 years we didn't pray. So now, do we just leave it? No. Slowly, slowly. Our teachers, they say that if you got into Josh, and you say, okay, one day I will pray all 20 rakat, and next day 20 rakat. After a week, you're gone. Start off nicely, slowly. How? For example, today you pray Isha namaz. With Isha namaz, instead of praying the 4 rakat sunnah before, pray one qada namaz of your life. Make intention that the last qada namaz that I have, or the first qada namaz. And like this, slowly, slowly continue, so it will not be heavy on you. It will not be heavy on you, but even if you fail to complete it and you have to leave this world, Allah will forgive you. Allah will forgive you. This is a very, very important point. Even you are doing all these namaz, but even you couldn't complete it, Allah will forgive you. But if you're careless, you didn't do it, then you have to answer to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq that whatever has been said, to act upon it and to bring it into our life.